All right, Hare Krishna. So we're going to talk about this story. The chapter number is 22 from Canto number 3, Srimad Bhagavatam. So this is the story of marriage of Kardama Prajapati and Devahuti. So what is the story so far? Let us see that. So what has happened so far is that there is the Manu, that is Swayambhuva Manu. Who is Swayambhuva Manu? Anybody can say who is Swayambhuva Manu?
The first Manu.
That's right. That's the first Manu, right? The first Manu. And he has got a daughter, and he has got many daughters. One of his daughters is Devahuti. And he wanted to get his daughter married. And then upon the so he decided to marry to Kardama Muni, Kardama Prajapati. So this is what we are going to discuss. So what's happening in the beginning of the chapter, of this chapter, is that Maitreya Rishi is talking to Vidura. So this conversation is between Maitreya and Vidura. So there's a conversation that's going on. And so Maitreya is explaining that first of all, you know, the king Manu, he comes to Kardama, and then he wants to offer his daughter to Kardama Muni. So at that time, what happens is there's a discussion that happens. First, Swayambhuva Manu comes and then sees Kardama Muni. Kardama Muni is a Brahmana and Swayambhuva Manu is a Kshatriya. So he pays obeisances. And then this Kardama Muni, he will give a short discourse on religious principles of the king. So after hearing that short discourse on the religious principles of the king, so Manu, he becomes very happy. Okay. And then he then says this, that I'm so thankful to you that you have given me this advice. In fact, the only purpose of Kshatriyas, okay, the purpose why God has created Kshatriyas is for the protection of the Brahmanas. He says that, and he says that Brahmanas and Kshatriyas must protect each other because that is the will of the Lord. So, and then he says, I'm very happy that I met you. You have clearly explained the duty of a king. And he says that it's my great fortune. I saw you. I'm very lucky that I have seen you. And then I've been very fortunate that you instructed me and all of that. Okay, he's very happy and he exchanges some good words. And then he starts to say that, can you please listen to my prayer? See, the problem is I'm troubled by the affection for my daughter. And my daughter is saying, she is the sister of Priyavrata and Uttanapada. Priyavrata and Uttanapada are the other two sons of Swayambhuva Manu. And then my daughter is seeking an alliance. I mean, she's seeking a husband who is equal in terms of age, character, and good qualities. So then what happened is like Sage Narada has spoken about your character, about your greatness, about your learning, about your beautiful appearance and everything. He spoke about you in front of my daughter, and my daughter wants to marry you. She has her mind fixed upon you. So therefore, please accept her. And then he says that, please accept her, please don't reject her. All right. And then because he says, even for somebody who is completely detached also, if something comes according to its own accord, you must accept it. And if you reject it now, and then later if you go and ask someone else, and if they reject you, it's going to cause a lot of humility and shame. So it's better that you please accept my proposal. He says that. So now in response to that, the Swayambhuva Manu, Swayambhuva Manu's request, Kardama Muni, he replies that, of course, I want to marry. And I know that your daughter is not been married yet, and neither have you given her in word to anybody also. Therefore, according to the Vedic scriptures, I'm happy to marry your daughter. And then he says, who would not accept her? Because she's so beautiful and very nice. So therefore, I will not reject her. And he also says that I've heard a story about your daughter, that there was a Gandharva named Vishwavasu. His name is Vishwavasu. The Vishwavasu was going on an airplane, okay, above the palace. The palace was a very tall palace, and he was going above. And then somehow he saw that Devahuti was playing ball. Okay, she was playing with a ball. And then when he saw her, he got stupefied and he fell down from his airplane. So I mean, that testifies that she's very beautiful. I mean, she's like the best of all the women. I mean, why would I not accept? I mean, if Lakshmi Devi herself is coming and saying, seeking my hands, why will I say no to her? Therefore, I'll very happily accept her. But there's only one condition, he says, okay? Here is the condition, okay? Important condition. He says the condition is, as soon as I have a kid with her, I have a child with her, I shall accept the life of devotional service. That is, I will go to the forest. This is the condition. Okay, so from here, the today's class starts. So the condition was set at the beginning, right at the beginning, and it was told very clearly to the father that, see, I'm not going to stay here. After the marriage, I'm going to stay only until the first child is born. All right. And then as soon as the first child is born, I'm going to take the Paramahamsa Dharma. Paramahamsa Dharma is like the life of devotional service. Right? So what is important here, what we should learn from this, what is Kardama Muni saying, and what is this that we have to learn is, see, the purpose of human form of life is to serve Lord Vishnu. The purpose of the human form of life is to serve Lord Vishnu. So if somebody can get children as a service to Lord Vishnu, that's fine. Okay. And then there are two kinds of children. Okay. So one is like educated in Krishna consciousness that can be delivered from the clutches of Maya in that very life. That's one type. So the other type is somebody who is not educated in Krishna consciousness. So what is the use of such children? So only a very enlightened parent can train a child in Krishna consciousness. So we always want that our children should be very good. I mean, we feel that we are beyond repair. Okay, that's not a right attitude. See, we always learn, or our children will learn from what we do, not from what we say. We cannot say to our children and say, you be Krishna conscious, I'll be materially conscious. They're not going to listen to us. Instead, if you are Krishna conscious, even if you don't say anything, even if you don't say even a word also, in the long run, they will definitely imbibe Krishna consciousness sometime or the other. They will look at it like a legacy. The thing that my father was very humble, he was a very pious man. My mother was very, very devoted lady. Or the grandchildren, they will think like that. Okay, my grandfather was a very great devotee. They'll always remember that. And they'll always remember that example, and they'll be trying to follow that example also. Unconsciously, they will follow that. Okay. So that's the thing. Okay. So the human society must not produce children like cats and dogs. See, we are not animals, right? That we are doing the animal, what are the animal propensities? Can anybody see what are the 4 animal propensities?
Eating, sleeping, mating, defending.
That's right. So animals are doing the same thing. They're also eating, they're also sleeping, they're also mating, they're also defending. So, but we are not supposed to do like animals. we are better than them, isn't it? So therefore, after fulfilling the responsibility of children, after children is born, taking care of their responsibilities, one must take sannyasa and engage in the Paramahamsa stage. What is the Paramahamsa stage? Means the highest possible human stage is called Paramahamsa. Brahmacharya, Grihastha, Vanaprastha, Sannyasa. And in the Sannyasa also there are 4 levels. Kutichaka, Bahudaka, Parivrajaka, Paramahamsa. We must try to come to the Paramahamsa stage. We may be surprised. How is it possible? Even in our wildest dreams, it's not possible. No, it's possible. We have so many examples of Grihasthas reaching the Paramahamsa stage. Prabhupada always used to say that the householders of Krishna consciousness, the householders following this Krishna consciousness, they must be Paramahamsas. And this Bhagavatam itself, see, the very reason you are attracted to Bhagavatam is not ordinary. This Bhagavatam is Paramahamsa Samhita. It is read by the Paramahamsas. So Paramahamsa means the most highly elevated perfectional stage of life. And the best example for Paramahamsa is Bhakti Vinod Thakur. Bhakti Vinod Thakur had 11 children. He was the father of Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, who is the guru of Srila Prabhupada. So he not only authored a lot of books, he also wrote a lot of songs in glorification of Krishna, Radha Krishna, and Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He wrote a lot of philosophical books, Chaitanya Shikshamrita, etc., Jaiva Dharma. And he wrote a lot of letters. He tried to preach like anything. He ran 1500 Namahatta centers, not 1 or 2. Now, what we are trying to do is we are trying to run only 1 center. Well, that is very difficult, right? So we must take inspiration from Bhakti Vinod Thakur. What is he doing? We should do like that. He is a householder. And towards the end of his life, he just retired to a small ashrama and he was always chanting Hare Krishna. Right? So that is Bhakti Vinod Thakur. Right? I mean, we can see, we can imbibe his mood. Prabhupada said, Grihasthas must be like Bhakti Vinod Thakur. We must take inspiration from him. Maybe we should read more about him. That's what I feel. We should read, maybe we should have some classes around him. What he used to do, what were his activities. I mean, just imagine, okay, he was a magistrate in Kolkata. He was not an ordinary person. He did not retire prematurely. He didn't take any voluntary retirement. He worked till the end. But yet, he was able to do both. He was working for 6 hours in his office work as a magistrate. And he also acted as a main administrative officer for Jagannath Puri. And the very reason why Jagannath Puri temple has been revived to its glory is Bhakti Vinod Thakur only. Right now, if we see that 54 times Bhoga is being offered and everything is whatever you're seeing in Jagannath Puri temple, it was an old tradition, but it was being lost. It was completely dilapidated. All the processes, everything has been brought back by Bhakti Vinod Thakur. So like that, we should be in Paramahamsa stage, Krishna consciousness. So like that, we should be. Okay, we should try to come to that. Okay. So that's how we can spread this Krishna consciousness throughout this world. Let's see the next verse. Let me share the screen. Yato bhavad vishwamidam vichitram samsthashyate yatra chittavati vastate prajapatinam patireshamayam param pramanam bhagavan anantaha. The highest authority for me is the unlimited Supreme Personality of Godhead, from whom this wonderful creation emanates and in whom its sustenance and dissolution is rest. He is the origin of all Prajapatis, the personalities meant to produce living entities in this world. So in Bhagavad Gita also Lord Krishna says the Prajapatis are coming from Lord Sri Krishna. All the Prajapatis are coming from Lord Sri Krishna. All the Manus are coming from Lord Krishna. In fact, Manu is an avatar. We'll talk about it in a while. So here he is saying the highest authority for me is the unlimited supreme personality of Godhead. So Kardama Muni was ordered by his father Prajapati to produce children. So the purpose of Prajapati means to increase the population. So right now we want to decrease the population, but that was the time when they wanted to increase the population. Okay, because the entire universe is ready, but there's nobody inside it. It's just like, let us say that you build a big skyscraper building. Would you like it if there is nobody occupying it? There's nobody inside it. Will you be happy? What is the use of such skyscraper building? So now you want somebody to come inside and occupy that, right? Yeah, at the moment it's like overpopulated. A lot of people are there in, right? Now it's like so overpopulated. We don't have even a place to stand in the metro trains or local trains. But you see, there is never anything called overpopulation, okay? It's just about management. It's about management. So the poverty and people not having food, it's not the problem of the population. It's not that if you bring the population to 1/10, everybody will be not hungry. What do you think? The problem, it's not the problem. That the problem is there are some greedy people who are trying to hoard more than what they require. Unless this greediness is gone, there's no use of targeting the population. It's not about the population. There is enough land on the earth. We can produce unlimited grains. We don't want to produce unlimited grains. By choice, the farmers, the agriculturists, and the businessmen, the governments, if they want, they can do it. But they don't want to do it on purpose. Now that is ignorance. All right. So Earth is already very big. Okay. We can have as much population as possible. There's no problem. So here he's saying, see, as far as Lord Krishna is concerned, Vishnu is concerned, he very clearly said, Sarva dharman parityajya mamekam sharanam braja aham tvam sarva papyabhyo mokshayishyami ma shucha. So Lord Vishnu, his instructions are clear. Bhagavad Gita, surrender everything to me. Surrender everything means everything to me. Now, he wants to come to that situation where he is completely surrendering his activities to Lord Vishnu. Right? So we see Brahma, Vishnu and Maheshwara. Brahma, Vishnu and Maheshwara. Right? Lord Brahma, how many faces does he have? Tell me, Lord Brahma.
Prabhuji, there are many types of Brahmas.
Let's talk about our Brahma.
3.
Yes, 4. Yeah, that's right. I mean, technically 3, 1 was cut off, but generally 4, right?
Okay.
Yes, Mataji. Chaturbhuka Brahma, we say. How about Lord Shiva? How many faces does Lord Shiva have?
1.
Is Panchamukha.
Oh my God.
Yeah, 5 faces. So there's a beautiful song, all right? It says, Brahma bole chaturmukhe Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Mahadeva Panchamukhe Rama Rama Hare Hare. Which means, see, Lord Brahma, with all his 4 faces, is saying Krishna Krishna Hare Hare. Lord Shiva is saying Rama Rama Hare Hare. That means they're chanting the names of Lord Krishna. So the right way to understand is, among the 3 Murtis, Brahma, Vishnu and Maheshwara, the source of Brahma and Lord Shiva is Lord Vishnu. They are the qualitative expansions, Guna Avatara. Sattva Guna, Rajo Guna, Tamo Guna meant for mode of goodness, passion and ignorance. And respectively, they are taking the activities of creation, maintenance, and destruction. And Lord Vishnu is the source of Brahma and Lord Shiva also. He is taking up the task of maintenance. So maintenance cannot be done by anybody other than Lord Vishnu. He is called as Bhutabhrut. There are innumerable living entities, countless. You cannot even count how many living entities are there in one universe. So Lord is Bhutabrut, Bhutakrut. Bhutabrut means he is the giving the food for every living entity. Only Lord Vishnu can do that. Brahma is doing the creation and Lord Shiva is doing the annihilation. Maintenance taken by Lord Vishnu. So Lord Vishnu, his desire was Kardama Muni get married, get a child, and then retire to the forest. So he's saying Lord Vishnu is my authority. And then there's a purpose for getting a child also. Okay, so see what happens when you get a child or when you get a son is you liquidate debt towards ancestors. Okay, there are many debts. Okay, like 5 debts are there: Devaruna, Pitruruna, and 3 more. All right. So one of this Pitruruna is the debt to the ancestors is liquidated as soon as the son is born. All right. But one interesting thing is, if you are fully Krishna conscious, then all your debts are cleared. Devarshi bhutaptanranam pitrunam nayam karoti kinkaro ti rajan gato mukundam parihatya krutyam. That means if you are surrendered to Mukunda, Muktidata, to Krishna, then all your debts, all the 5 debts are completely cleared. You don't have to think now, oh, should I do something? Is there something debt remaining? There is no debt at all. It's 100% cleared if you are fully Krishna conscious, if you are surrendered to Krishna. So Kardama Muni wanted that. He wanted to become a servant, Paramahamsa, in full knowledge and serve the Lord and beget a child only for that purpose. And Prabhupada is writing here in a Prabhupada's commentaries are so wonderful, isn't it? So Prabhupada, just let me read this Prabhupada's line. It's very funny. Prabhupada is writing, Kardama Muni preferred to devote his life as a servant of the Lord in Paramahamsa knowledge and to beget a child only for that purpose, not to beget numberless children to fill up the vacancies in the universe. There are so many vacancies in the universe. It's not that we want to fill up all the vacancies with numberless children. So Prabhupada wrote like that. Okay. So the next verse, Maitreya sa ugradhanvan iyadeva bhase asit chatushnim aravinda nabham dhiyopagrihnan smitashobhitena mukhena cheto lulubhe devahutyah. Sri Maitreya Rishi said, O great warrior Vidura, the great sage Kardama said this much only and became silent, thinking of the worshipable Lord Vishnu, who was lotus on his navel, and as he silently smiled, his face captured the mind of Devahuti. He began to meditate upon the great sage. So it's not that he was praising Devahuti, saying Devahuti is so beautiful, Devahuti is so beautiful, and then he's now meditating on Devahuti. Okay. He's now meditating. As soon as he spoke about that, he said, yeah, Devahuti is very nice. She's, I heard about her. She's like goddess of fortune. I want to get married to her. And it's nothing wrong about it. I want to liquidate my debt, but I just want to leave the house as soon as I get a child. So that's my condition. He's saying that because I want to please Lord Vishnu. He said that and he started to meditate upon Lord Vishnu. All right. So we should learn something from this. That is, he's fully absorbed in Krishna consciousness. So as soon as he became silent, he's thinking about Krishna. This is called Krishna consciousness. Right? That means the pure devotees, they have no other engagement than to think about Krishna. Right? And another interesting thing, when he was smiling, right? It is said here when he was smiling, after, like when he smiled, it says that his face captured the mind of Devahuti. So here, Prabhupada wrote something very nice, that the smile of a Krishna conscious person is so attractive that simply by smiling, he wins so many admirers, disciples, and followers. How many of you saw Prabhupada smile? Yes, you saw that when Prabhupada smiles, how it was, right? So in the comment, in the documentary, Hare Krishna, the mantra, the movement, and the man behind it. There's a movie. In that Sally Agarwal, she describes that when Prabhupada smiled, it was as if like the whole world, he took the whole world inside him. He used to smile like that. Saw that Prabhupada smile? So wonderful. When Prabhupada smiles, it's amazing. So when the pure devotee smiles, it's like that, okay? So then what happened is, like, after this, after Kardama Muni asked his wife, I'm sorry, Swayambhuva Manu asked his wife, is it okay if we go ahead with this? And then also asked Devahuti, are you sure you want to get married? And then when they're all ready, and then the emperor gave his daughter to the sage. All right. So very interesting. So it's like a perfect arranged marriage, right? So it explains a lot about our culture. We should know about all of this, okay? So because right now we are facing a huge wave of Western culture engulfing us, okay? And it's really, really difficult to counter that. Don't you see that? Do you see that? The modernity, along with some good things, like maybe like technology or civilization or forward thinking, some nice things are there. I wouldn't say that everything is bad, but there are a lot of bad things that the youngsters are taking. Everybody is taking from the Western civilization. You see the coffee culture, the girlfriend boyfriend culture, divorce culture, isn't it? And having sex in the center of the society. So this is Western culture, okay? See, for them, the only purpose of life is sense enjoyment. They want to maximize sense enjoyment, and they don't have anything like very strict rules. They have got rules, but their rules are very diluted, okay? And they have multiple partners, and their life is centered around sex. So that's the modern civilization. And unfortunately, our youth is very much attracted to that. They're not attracted to Srimad Bhagavatam. They're not coming here. Yes, there are some people, but I'm saying most of them are attracted to this. The serials that are coming on Netflix, the coffee culture, the girlfriend boyfriend culture, right? So this is very important, because all of the Indian youth are asking these questions. Why should we get married? They're asking this kind of questions. Why should a girl get married? Tell me. Why should the girl go to the boy's house? These kind of questions are being asked. Okay, so we should be able to answer, what is this culture? Who created this? We created it. They say we created it, we'll change it. So we need to tell all of this. So in this chapter, we will see the beautiful culture of marriage. So we also see that this marriage culture was created by Lord himself. Chaturvarnyam maya srishtva gunakarma vibhagashaha. This is Swayambhuva Manu. Who is Swayambhuva Manu? He is belonging to the first Manvantara of the Kalpa of Lord Brahma. This is in different yuga, maybe Satya Yuga. It's long backstory, this one. Right? So in this, we will see everything. Okay. See now, Devahuti is going to get married, and then we will see how Indian marriage goes. Exactly. We are following the same thing. Generation after generation, after so many millenniums, we are following the same thing. So this is not some kind of an evil practice. Try to understand. It's a very nice practice, and it's a very standard practice. If we give this up, the alternative is worst. That's the point. See, you can package poison in a very nice manner. That doesn't make poison consumable. Similarly, you can take a pig and put nice makeup and lipstick, but still it's a pig. Similarly, Whatever the Western culture, modern culture that we are following or the youth wants to follow is just like that. It's like a pig. So no matter how much you decorate it, it's still a pig. So we should stay away from that. Okay. So let me tell you, let me read this now. So what we are saying here, now right now, the Empress Shatarupa, who is the wife of Swayambhuva Manu, she gave most valuable presents suitable for the occasion, such as jewelry, household articles in dowry to the bride and the bridegroom. Okay, here is something very interesting. Okay, there's a topic of dowry here. Now, people say dowry is evil. If somebody takes dowry, we are going to put them in jail, right? But just see here, Manu and Shatarupa, they're giving valuable presents suitable for the occasion, such as jewelry, clothes, household articles in dowry to the bride and the bridegroom. They're giving both gifts to them. It's a gift. So what is wrong is, see, it has become a kind of a business where they say that if you're not going to give this gift, we are not going to marry you. That's very evil. Or torturing somebody after getting married, that's evil. But somebody giving out of their will, which they can give out of love, what is wrong about it? And just see this purport also here. Okay, let's see the purport. It says the custom of giving one's daughter in charity with a dowry is still current in India. The gifts are given according to the position of the father of the bride. Paribarhan Mahadhanan means the dowry must be awarded to the bridegroom at the time of marriage. Here Mahadhanan means great valuable gifts. The word Bhusha Vasa Parichadan also appears. Bhusha means ornaments, Vasa means clothing, and Parichadan means various household articles. What are they sent as dowry to the daughter? Ornaments, clothing, household articles, all of this. Right? So, and then it said here, you see, dowry is still given to the bridegroom by the father of the bride. Even in the poverty-stricken India, marriages where there are hundreds and thousands of rupees are spent for dowry. It's not illegal, as some people have tried to prove it. Again, this is some kind of modern nonsense. Dowry is a gift given by the father to the daughter to show goodwill. It is compulsory. If somebody is very poor, cannot give anything, it is enjoined that he must at least give a fruit and flower. At least fruit and flower has to be given as dowry. If there is financial inability. You see, it's given here. Even Lord Krishna's father and mother, Vasudeva and Devaki, the first story, starting point of Krishna's stories is when Devaki gets married to Vasudeva. And then it is said what was the dowry given by Devaki's father to her. Along with her, he sends so many household articles, ornaments, and what do you say, so many maid servants, so much. So even Krishna's parents, Krishna's grandfather is also wrong. Krishna's mother is wrong. Everybody is wrong. These people are right. Isn't it? So that's what they think. So they are spreading some kind of modern speculation and actually polluting everybody's mind. And ultimately they want the kingdom of Kali. Let's go to the next verse. Thus relieved of his responsibility by handing over his daughter to a suitable man, Swayambhuva Manu, his mind agitated by feelings of separation, embraced his affectionate daughter with both his arms. Now let us see something very, very beautiful, okay? So now tell me, so what is the scene that you see in the marriage, after the marriage? Can you tell me what happens after the marriage? Happens in every marriage. What is that? So when the daughter is leaving, what happens? Tell me. Anybody can say? So when the daughter is, yeah?
They feel sad, the daughter is
They
leaving
feel
them.
sad. Who feels the sad the most?
Father.
Father feels sad the most. Right? So here, it is Swayambhuva Manu. Swayambhuva Manu is such a great personality. He's one of the 14 Manus, right? Swayambhuva Manu, right? Let's see how he is reacting. So what happens? It's a beautiful, beautiful verses come now. Okay. So Bhagavatam is full of what do you say, mellows. So then, first of all, he was relieved of his responsibility by handing over the daughter to a suitable man. That means, first of all, it's like definitely a lot of daughters complain this, that my father feels that I'm a burden, but it is a religious burden. Okay, we have to understand that. Why they feel that I'm a burden, it's not that they can't take care of them or give them food, or they can't afford to give them food. That's not the reason why the father is feeling burdened. The father is feeling burdened because of dharma, religious principles. As per the religious principles, the father is supposed to get the daughter married as soon as possible. That's the reason why father is feeling burden. It's not that he cannot feed food. He can keep her all the life also, but then it will become a religious principle. You know, if he's encouraging the daughter to come back, fight with the husband and come back, and I'll take care of you. Go and fight. Come, I'll take care of you. There's no need of staying there. So all this is like nonsense. Okay. So the father, he's in anxiety. That grown-up daughter must be given to a suitable boy. It's a responsibility. It's a religious principle as per the dharma. That's it. Okay. So that's how it is given, enjoined. That's the dharma of the father, that he must get her married. Earlier they used to do it very early. Now it's like very late. Right? It's like extremely late, isn't it? So now, okay, let's see the next verse. Okay, so there's a very beautiful verse here. I'll share this with you. It says, Ashaknuvam stad viraham munchan bhashpa kalam muhuhu ashinchad amba vatseti netro dair duhituhu sikhaha. The emperor was unable to bear the separation of his daughter. Therefore, tears poured from his eyes again and again, drenching his daughter's head as he cried, "My dear daughter, my dear mother." So he was saying, Ambe, Amba, Ambe, Vatsa. Amba means like mother. So like father calls daughter as mother also sometimes, right? So like Amma, like that. Beti, my daughter. So like that he was saying, and then he was feeling very sad. See, the father feels very sad at the time of the marriage of his daughter. Okay. So the thing is, so this is all followed by the dharma. So this is according to Manu Samhita. Manu Samhita is the rules given by Manu himself. Manu has to obviously follow. Manu Samhita only means Manu has given it. Right? Here Swayambhuva Manu is following it and showing it. First of all, he should follow it and then he should tell us, isn't it? So Manu Samhita is following. So as per the Manu Samhita, these rules have been given for the spiritual advancement of the society. So this is not a society of cats and dogs. If it was a society of cats and dogs, we can decide how the cats and dogs must live. So any cat can live with any cat. Any dog can live with any dog. No problem. There's no relationship. But this is a human society, isn't it? This human society is guided by religious principles given by God. That is Manu Samhita. So as per that, actually, a woman is never independent. She must remain under the dependence of father when she's not married, and she must remain under the dependence of husband when she's grown up. And after the husband takes sannyasa or passes away, she should stay with her grown-up children. So like that, it has been given. So like that, Devahuti, father handed over the responsibility to her husband now. So far, father has taken care. Next, he is giving to the husband. Okay. So now why all of this is important is, it's so difficult for us to listen to all of this. I understand, because we are also belong to this modern conditioned society, and it sometimes becomes like we resist all these ideas. But the thing we should understand, this is all the religious principles given in the Vedas, and the Vedas are emanating from Krishna. And Krishna is saying, if you do not follow the scriptural injunctions, Yashastra Vidhimutsrujya Vartante Kamakaratah. So what happens if you don't follow the Vedic
ये खाली करिए
scriptures?
महाराज जी इकट्ठा
Hare
फटाफट
Krishna.
करिए महाराज जी मेरे को सुबह काम रहता है
So it says, Bhagavad Gita, chapter number 16, verse 23, Yas shastram viddhi mutsrujya vartate kamakaratah nasa siddhim avapnoti nasukam na param gati. But he who discards scriptural injunctions and acts according to his own whims attains neither perfection nor happiness nor supreme destination. We have to follow the Shastra Vidhi, Manu Samhita, Manu Smriti. So as per the Shastra Vidhi, if we follow, if we do not follow, if we disregard it, okay, let's say, no, we are not following Manu Smriti. We will do as per our will. Then Krishna is saying, he who discards scriptural injunctions and acts according to his own whims attains neither perfection, nor happiness, nor supreme destination. So if you are okay to not be happy in life, if you're okay, if you don't want perfection in life, if you don't want the supreme destination in life, yes, you can do whatever you want. You're independent completely. There's nothing you need to follow. But if you want happiness in life, perfection in life, if you want to go back to God, if you want to be liberated, then we must follow. So this spiritual culture is for the Aryan. It's not for, Naradhamas. Naradhama means hunters who have no rules. They can eat anything, they can drink anything, they can do anything. The cannibals. They don't have any rules and regulations. Okay. So then what happened? After asking and obtaining great sages' permission to leave, the monarch mounted his chariot with his wife and started for his capital. Along the way, he saw the prosperity of the tranquil spheres, beautiful hermitages on both the charming banks of the Saraswati, the river so agreeable to the saintly persons. So the thing is, see, now he has given his daughter in marriage to Kardama, and then now he is going back to his kingdom along with his wife, along with all the army also. So whenever the king comes, he comes with the army. Okay, this is how it used to work before. In this age, maybe they may not be coming. The army won't come. Maybe some people will come. A small team will come. But those days they used to go like that. And then when he was coming on the way, he saw so many hermits, right? So many ashrams. So the cities are nicely constructed, and outside the cities there are rishikula. Okay, there's still so many places like that, even in India, even now, for spiritual understanding. It's like nice cottages on the banks of Ganges and Yamuna for the purpose of spiritual cultivation. So our culture is spiritual culture. Our goal is to become liberated. Our goal is not to maximize the sense gratification, right? This is not our purpose. That is the goal of cats and dogs. So that's why we follow the religious principles given by Krishna, right? So that's what it is said here. These ashramas were very beautiful and very pleasant to look at. All right. And then what happened? When he came to that Brahmavarta, to the Barhishmati, to his city, then everybody came to welcome him. So when a king comes to the city, everybody should go and welcome the king. So this is actually the Vedic injunction. So even we saw when Lord Krishna came to Dwarka, all the inhabitants of Dwarka came to invite him inside, right? So like that he was received. Okay. And then, even the cities like Delhi, etc., there are some gates, right? The entry gate where the king is coming. So where all the citizens will come and then they will be receiving him very nicely with musical instruments, etc. So, and then that city of Barhishmati description has been given here. Let's see that. So it says the city of Barhishmati, rich in all kinds of wealth, was so called because Lord Vishnu's hair dropped here from his body when he manifested himself as Lord Boar. As he shook his body, his very thin hair fell and turned into blades of evergreen kusha grass and kasha grass, by means of which sages worshipped Lord Vishnu after defeating the demons who had interfered with the performance of their sacrifice. The thing is, this Marhishmati is called Barhishmati because Lord Vishnu, when he came in the form of Varaha Rupa, the hair from the lords had fall down, and that hair became kusha grass. So even today, when we do the religious functions, we sit on the kusha grass and kasha grass. These are two types of grasses which we use for meditation, sitting for meditation. All right. So this is the thing. Okay. So why we use kusha at the time of yajna is because it is very pure. It is pure because it is coming from the hair of Lord Vishnu. All right. And then Manu spread a seat of kushas and kashas and worshipped the Lord, by whose grace he had obtained the rule of terrestrial globe. And now, as soon as Manu came home, he started to worship Lord Vishnu. Right? Actually, you know, the word man, where is the word man coming from? Can anybody say man? We say human. We say
Manu.
mankind. Manu. Man is coming from Manu. Manushya. Manu. Manushya. That's why we are Manushya. We have to follow. Manushya means human must follow Manu Dharma. Right? We are not Pashu. We cannot follow Pashu Dharma. Am I right? So this Manu is setting an example and showing himself. Right? I mean, he was feeling separation when he got his daughter married, but because he is feeling separation, it doesn't mean that he's not getting his daughter married. All right. So he has shown an example how it has to be done as per the Manusmriti. And then he's now, after the marriage, he's now sitting and then meditating on Lord Vishnu. So that means we can understand, see, Kardama also, after he spoke, when he was silent, he was remembering Lord Vishnu. Here, Manu also, after the marriage, is coming back and, you know, worshipping Lord Vishnu. But in the modern civilization, what do people do? They'll finish the marriage and they'll come back home and then switch on the TV or start the newspapers, isn't it? So this is what we should change. Okay, this is the opposite. This is the opposite. Krishna consciousness is the opposite of material consciousness. Okay, so these are all very exalted souls. We will see very soon. In this chapter, I'm going to tell you, what is it that you get? Why should you do Krishna consciousness? What is the benefit of that? We'll see that. So why should we take so much of austerity? What is the benefit of following all of these religious principles? We'll see that too, towards the end. All right. Okay. So we have to take lessons from Manu. Right? How he is very nicely, he is worshipping the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And by the mercy of the Supreme Lord, he got this entire kingdom, Manu, right? Do you all remember the story of Swayambhuva Manu? You see, Lord Brahma, first of all, he wanted to increase the population. So first he got 4 children, the 4 Kumaras. They said, no, we don't want to get married because they are full of knowledge. And then he got 11 Rudras, Lord Shiva. And then they started to destroy the whole world and said, please stop destruction. And then Manu and Shatarupa were born. And then Manu came obediently and he said, I want to follow your orders. Please give me orders to Lord Brahma, he said. And then Lord Brahma gave him orders that please go and increase the population of the world. All right. So that's what is happening. So this is like the instruction of his father. And his father's instruction is given by Lord Vishnu. Lord Vishnu gave instructions to Lord Brahma to do the creation. And Lord Brahma is giving instructions to Manu, and Manu is following the instructions of Lord Vishnu. That is his grandfather. Isn't it? That is how the mood should be. That ultimately we are following the instructions of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Whatever we are doing, we must utilize our wealth, our opulences, our education. Everything we got it because of the mercy of the Lord. Even here, Manu got the kingdom because of the mercy of the Lord. So we have to remember that we must be grateful. We must acknowledge that. And we must worship the Lord. Then we become, free from the bondages. We become free from the threefold miseries. So this is the mission of Krishna consciousness, is to teach everybody to acknowledge the supremacy of Lord Krishna. To remember that everything that we have is given by Krishna. And that we must engage in devotional service to Krishna, being grateful to him. Isn't it? Then what happened? He entered the city of Barhishmati. Manu entered his palace and it was like a wonderful place. You see, material world is full of miseries, full of disturbances. But human society is not meant to follow this disturbed world. We have to create a spiritual atmosphere by spreading Krishna consciousness. If there is no Krishna consciousness in our life will be very, very, very depressed. There's no doubt about it. There's nothing so happy about our material activities. We may try to derive happiness out of it, but actually there's no happiness. There's more misery to it than happiness. It's like the happiness of a camel, okay? The camel is eating thorns and thinking very juicy food. Cactus it eats, cactus, right? It has a lot of thorns. It is eating the. Then what happens when it is chewing that cactus? A lot of blood comes from the mouth. And the camel likes its own blood. What a tasty food. Actually, our situation is like that. See, whatever material enjoyment that we are getting today is after so much of hard work. We forget our hard work. Whatever we have achieved, whatever we are saying, I finally have this. I'm so happy now. Just try to recollect the difficulty that you went through, how much effort you have put to get that happiness. So there's no difference between this happiness and the camel enjoying its own blood. It's a foolish happiness. It's a happiness derived after so much of difficulty. So if you want to come out of this, we have to create a spiritual atmosphere. We have to spread Krishna consciousness. All right. So it's like an antiseptic Krishna consciousness to stop the material miseries. All right. So we have to spread Krishna consciousness. That's why Prabhupada says, do anything to spread Krishna consciousness so that everybody is happy. Let there be spiritual atmosphere, not material atmosphere. Material atmosphere means how can I exploit you? I want to exploit you. And the other person is thinking, I want to exploit you. Let me see who will exploit each other more. This is material consciousness. Krishna consciousness means I will serve you. The other person is saying, I will serve you. And both of them are serving Krishna. This is Krishna consciousness. Okay. So Swayambhuva Manu enjoyed life with his wife and subjects and fulfilled his desires without being disturbed by unwanted principles contrary to the process of religion. Celestial musicians and their wives sang in chorus about the pure reputation of the emperor. And early in the morning, every day, he used to listen to the pastimes of the Supreme Personality of Godhead with a loving heart. Now, what do we learn from this? So Swayambhuva Manu, he's the emperor. He enjoyed his life with his wife and subjects and fulfilled all his desires without being disturbed by unwanted principles. See, dharma viruddho kamosmi bharatarshaba, Krishna said. See, kama, material sense gratification, which is not contradicting dharma, is Krishna. That is allowed. That's not a problem. But not at the cost of religion, not at the cost of dharma. So right now our problem is we don't know what is that dharma. First of all, we must know what is dharma, and our happiness or sense gratification should be only under that jurisdiction. All right. So what is the lesson that you see here? You just see this. Every day morning, he used to wake up. And what happens is every day morning when the king wakes up, there are some people called the bards. Okay, they will be singing the songs of the glories of the king in the morning to wake him up. And then they used to tell about the reputation. He's such a great king. You're such a great king. They used to praise him. And then he used to listen to the pastimes of the Supreme Personality of Godhead with a loving heart. We have to listen to the. So what is the lesson that we can take? Anybody can say? What is the lesson that we have to take from Swayambhuva Manu? And from his life. Tell me. Anybody can say?
Rule your, what is it? Rule properly with your subjects in mind, and be in always in consciousness of God. and follow dharma.
Yeah, that's right. And see, it's not that he's not enjoying anything. Okay, he's enjoying everything, but he's following dharma. And then he's always, every day, he's listening to the pastimes of Krishna. Okay, that's how he's remaining to be unaffected by the material enjoyments. See, household life means material enjoyment. It's the most materialistic among all the four ashramas. And among all the professions, a king profession is the most materialistic profession, because they see so much of opulence and they have access to every kind of sensual pleasures. So it is impossible for a king to be actually, in spiritual mood. But here Swayambhuva Manu is setting a perfect example of a perfect king. How a Rajarshi must be, a king and a rishi. Right? He's enjoying his household life, following the principles. He's an emperor, and he's listening to the pastimes of the Supreme Lord every single day. All right. So that's what it is. All right. So this is the thing. And so every day we have to hear Srimad Bhagavatam. Actually, all the family members must sit down and they must sing Hare Krishna Kirtan. And then they must hear from Srimad Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita. And they should sing some nice music, Hare Krishna Kirtan music, and then go to bed. See, this is not a dry movement. That we are not saying don't eat anything, don't listen to music, don't dance. It's the opposite. So Krishna consciousness, we are saying, come, have this prasadam, sing the songs, listen to this music, listen to this story, dance. So it's about singing and dancing. What is the difficulty? Once Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur had given an advertisement in the newspaper. He said, we have a post. You know what's the post is? We have a post. The position is somebody should come and they should be chanting all the day. That's it. If you're ready to chant all the day, we will give you a nice quarters to stay. We will give you nice prasadam to eat. Everything. We'll supply you everything. How many of you will apply for that position? India has so much of unemployment, right? And that was like 100 years back. There was so much of poverty also. We see that, right? There are so many poor people, do something for the poor, do something for the poor. He gave an open advertisement. He said, all you have to do is full day chant. That's all. Chant, go to bed, have prasadam. Chant, go to bed, have prasadam. That's it. But do you know, after reading the advertisement, how many people came? Any guesses? How many came? Hare Krishna?
Very few people.
Only one person came. Why they didn't come? I mean, if there are so many poor people who are sincerely really poor, they can think like that. No, अरे क्या जाता है, खाना तो मिल रहा है ना, just जप ही करना है, क्या है, what is there? I just have to sit and do jap. They're going to take care of me royally. I'll get nice quarters. Here I'm sitting on the platform begging, without employment, nothing. आराम से बैठो आश्रम में, have nice prasadam, all feast prasadam, everything, chant. What is the difficulty? Only one person came. Why? This is the problem. Okay. So the people are ready to starve. The people are ready to die. The people are able to crib about everything except depend on Krishna. To depend on Krishna, actually, everything is supplied. Okay. So that's the thing we have to understand. Okay. So there's one devotee, I forgot his name, Kinshana Das or something. Anybody remembers? I don't remember. Okay, that he was a very great devotee. Okay, later there was only one person who had come, and he actually did that. He actually sat down, he used to chant all the time, and he used to have prasadam. Everybody used to be envious. They used to go and complain to Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur that he's not doing any service. He's just simply sitting and chanting. And Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur said, you can't do it. He can do it. Don't be envious of him. He was a great devotee later. Okay. So that's what happened. All right. So that's how simple policy. Okay. We just have to go to the temple. So the purpose is every royal palace or rich man's house, there's a nice temple. Okay. And when they construct a nice temple itself. All right. And then in the morning, everybody rises early and they must go to the temple and see that Mangalarti. So maybe we should have some kind of a temple in every street. Small centers, something like that. Or they come to nearest centers, something like Mangalarti. Everybody should come there. And then they should circumambulate the deities in the early morning. And in the afternoon, they sing Hare Krishna Kirtan, listen to Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, and then with after music, they should go to bed. So that's all. I mean, this is the only addition that we have to do in our life. That's it. We're not saying, I mean, we're not completely changing it. I'm not saying stop everything. No, we're just adding Krishna. We're not removing anything. And then what happened? Swayambhuva Manu was a great saintly king. Although he was absorbed in material happiness, he was not dragged down to the lowest grade of life, for he always enjoyed his material happiness in a Krishna conscious atmosphere. What is the lesson that we can take from this?
We should do our prescribed duties, keeping Krishna in the center. Everything we should do for the pleasure of Krishna.
Yeah, that's right. Thank you. You should do it for the pleasure of Krishna. Anybody else? What else? Swayambhuva Manu, he's the emperor of the world. He's got every possible enjoyment. He was in the material happiness. He did not act artificially. He did not take off all his golden ornaments and wear some kind of things. Or maybe he's not standing naked like a sage. He's wearing all the golden ornaments. He's sitting on the golden throne. He's eating in the golden plate. But he did not come to the lowest grade of life, even though fully in opulences. He still remained aloof because he was in a Krishna conscious atmosphere. So this is how our life should be designed. Okay, we should be always fully Krishna conscious. The householders, we should not degrade to the lower condition. So all this gold, all this money, all this everything is just simply going to drag us down. It's not dragging us up. Inevitably, what happens when we have too much of money beyond what we actually need to have? It is only going to result in pride. Inevitably. And in that pride, we go and offend so many people. And ultimately, we degrade ourselves to a lower grade of life. So we should not be doing that. So modern civilization also is attached to the material life sense gratification. So Krishna consciousness movement can give the best opportunity for people to utilize human life in the midst of material enjoyment. And Krishna consciousness is not stopping them for enjoying material enjoyment. Okay, it's just simply regulating the habits. And in spite of all these material advantages, also we can be liberated by chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So Bangalore, right? Bangalore is such an opulent city. It's the #1 IT city. The foreign funds, FDI, all the IT, the #1 IT exporter is the Silicon Valley of India. There's so much of money that's flowing in from the entire world. A lot of opulence, a lot of development, everything is there. But we need to add something to it. What's that something? Right? We have to add spiritual culture to it. That's why our Guru Maharaj, His Holiness Jayapataka Swami Maharaj, he says Bangalore must become the first Krishna conscious city. How many of you are from Bangalore here? Right? How many of you would like to see Bangalore becoming the first Krishna conscious city of the world? Right? It's like a balanced city, right? You know, balanced, like, so materially opulent and spiritually opulent, both at the same time, like Barhishmati. like Dwarka, right? That's amazing vision, isn't it? That's such a great vision. And I'm telling you, seriously, I was looking at the statistics of people who are joining this program, and I was looking at that. I see that a lot of people are from Karnataka, actually, from Bangalore. So definitely, I see very clearly, first maximum from Karnataka, next from Andhra Pradesh and Telangana. I mean, at least the programs that we are conducting. So we see both the states, the Telugu speaking states, Kannada speaking states. Somehow we see there's a lot of spiritual atmosphere already. Okay, here. Just have to increase it, fan it. Okay, we have to make our environment spiritual. That's it. And then our life will be very happy. Okay, whatever complaints that we have, whatever difficulties that we're saying, this is not good, that is not good, all that will minimize to a large extent. Okay. And actually, this is the only solution. No, we can't depend on these politicians and their promises. They can't do anything. What will they do? Do you have any hope that these politicians can give us happiness? I don't think so. What can they do? I mean, we have so many miseries which are so deep. Something related to our relatives, something related to our own life, something related to our own health. What will this politician do? So Krishna consciousness can give us actual relief from our miseries. Okay, not anything else. So consequently, let's see this verse. Very, very beautiful conclusion. Says, consequently, although his duration of life gradually came to an end, his long life consisting of Manvantara era was not spending in vain, since he ever engaged in hearing, contemplating, writing down, and chanting the pastimes of God. Do you know how long he was alive? Any guesses? Any guesses? Okay, I'll give you a calculation. Okay, that it's like yeah. So he was let me just show you my screen. All right. So can you see my screen? Yeah. Do you see this number here? I don't even know how to read this. Crores. 30,000. Okay. This is lakhs. 308 crore years. That was his lifespan. Okay. So he lived for 308 crore years. That was the lifespan. Okay. Maybe 300 or 30 crore years. Maybe I might have been wrong. So anyways, 30 crore years he lived. And his long life, all his life, we always ask, let me live a little bit more, let me live a little bit more. What did he do all his life? He was ever engaged in, for 30 crore years, hearing, contemplating, writing down, and chanting of the pastimes of Lord. He did not get bored. He did not say, I chanted, I got bored. अरे हम तो कृष्णा कॉन्शियसनेस कितने साल से कर रहे हैं. It's so boring. I know all this. अरे हम बचपन से देख रहे हैं ये सब. I know all this. I know Bhagavad Gita. In my childhood only I read Ramayana. I read it many times. Ramayana हमारे घर में चलता था. He didn't say that. Okay, this is all nonsense attitude. Sorry to say this. So he is spending all 30 crore years hearing, contemplating, writing down about the pastimes of the Lord. You see? So what is the lesson for us? That this Krishna consciousness is not boring, it's not dry. It's so much enjoyable, okay? It's not stale. It's not a tasteless. And as he grew old, he did not stop it. That we used to do it before. My ancestors used to do it. My mother used to do it. My father used to do it. No, you have to do it. It's enjoyable. Okay? So that's the thing. Right? So that's what we are saying here. So So many years he is into Krishna consciousness, and still his life did not become stale. He did not get bored of it. And then he spent all his life, look at this. He passed his time, which lasted 71 cycles of 4 yugas. 71 into 4 lakh, 43 lakh 20,000 years. That's what I did the calculation just now. Okay. I put on the calculator. 71 into 43 lakh 20,000 years. Always thinking of Lord Krishna and engaged in matters regarding Vasudeva Krishna. He transcended the 3 destinations. All the time he's thinking about Krishna. Whatever time he had. He had so much time. We don't even have so much time, that kind of time, right? So he transcended the 3 destinations. Not even this upper planetary, middle planetary, lower planetary system. He transcended that. So where did he go? He went back to Godhead. Back to Godhead. So that means anybody who is following the Krishna consciousness, they are neither in the 3 modes of material nature. They are in transcendental stage. If you engage in devotional service, anybody who's engaged in devotional service is always liberated. Right? So it's not possible to follow Krishna consciousness without being liberated. So all the devotees, you see, who are like continuously doing this devotional service, they are situated on the transcendental platform of self-realization. This is like the perfect platform, okay? And now we're coming towards the conclusive verses of this, saying, therefore, Maitreya is saying, O Vidura, how can persons completely under the shelter of Lord Krishna and devotional service be put into miseries pertaining to the body, mind, nature, and other men and living creatures? The 3 types of tapatraya. Sometimes adhyatmika tapa, sometimes I have bodily problem. You see, stomach issue, headache, or some leg pain, something, or mind, mental. I'm feeling down, low, this, that. Nature, that is called, this is adhyatmika. Adi bhautika, nature. Something, tsunami happened, rain is falling, something is going on, right? So these are nature, natural disturbances, tsunami, etc. Okay, that's adhyatmika. Adi bhautika. Adi bhautika means because of other people. Other people and living creatures. I mean, somebody, dog is coming and biting, or my boss is shouting at me, my relatives are shouting at me, I have fights with my neighborhood. So a person who is completely under the shelter of Krishna, we saw Swayambhuva Manu, all his life he was so without any anxieties, without any miseries. There's no miseries. This is the only miseries that we have. Whatever miseries that we have fall in only in these categories. So tell me, how many of you want to be out of all these miseries pertaining to mind, body, nature, and other people, completely free of miseries? Right? So how many of you want to be completely under the shelter of Lord Sri Krishna and enjoy this miserylessness, just like how Swayambhuva Manu did? Right? So that's the thing. So Swayambhuva Manu, he had a compassion for all the living entities, and he taught the duties of people of different varna and ashrama to everybody. So that is Swayambhuva Manu. So a lot of people, without knowing anything about our religion, especially these Westerners, the Britishers, they have destroyed our culture. They don't know anything about Krishna consciousness. They're very materialistic people. They cannot understand this. So we should be intelligent enough to read our scriptures and understand the source of all this. The system has been designed by Krishna so that we are fully happy. And the ultimate result is that also. If you follow Krishna consciousness and follow religious principles, you will be fully happy. You will be liberated stage. Whatever happens to the body, you won't care. You will be completely liberated and fully happy. And even for the long life also, we can be fully happy. This is our system. This is the system of the Vedas. This is the system of Krishna consciousness, the system given by God. So we should appreciate that. We should try to follow. Instead of using our brain See, the more we use our brain and start analyzing from a materialistic point of view, we won't be able to understand because we don't know the link. We don't know, we can't foresee a lot of things. Okay, we see short term. Short term, everything looks good. But in long term, we suffer because of our decisions. Okay, so that's why we should trust, faith, have faith in Krishna. We should have faith in religious principles, dharma. Should be Krishna conscious. We should keep our family Krishna conscious. We should be, first of all, be convinced ourselves and take care of our family, make them Krishna conscious, explain them, give them books, ask them to chant, give them prasadam. This is the best thing that we can give to our family. This is the best that we can give to anybody. If we really love somebody, then give them Krishna consciousness. If you fail to give Krishna consciousness, that actually means that you don't really care for them. Because that's the only thing that you can do for them. There's nothing in our hands. There's nothing in our hands, I tell you. The only thing that we can give is Krishna consciousness. It's like a gift. It's like a gift of happiness. That's it. For the loved ones, for the society, for everybody. Okay, there's nothing better than this. All right. So Hare Krishna, thank you, dear devotees. We'll stop here. Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Hare Krishna.